Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
It's FriYAY! And you're here. That's what counts. Diane, hello. Jane's in the house too, and our dream team is here. Say hello to Jenny, to Amber, to Lindsay. Of course they're here to support and love you up. Jocelyn's here as well. And we are on day 5 of the sprint. Are you sprinting? If not, it is never too late to begin. As a matter of fact, I would suggest, if this is brand new and you're going, what the heck is a sprint? Well, it's a free challenge, anti-inflammatory challenge, to help you start feeling a little bit better in your skin. You know the deal, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hi, Erica. Good to see you. And this is one of the things that really moved the needle in my own life. I was the guinea pig for this one. I developed supplements around it because of the sprint and because of how incredibly effective it is. That's why I did it. Hey, butterfly. Anyway, you're going to find it at savingdinner.com/sprint. There's a ton of resources there. Everything is free. Of course, the supplements are not. You can do it without supplements. You can do it with the supplements. In any case, this would be a good idea if you haven't yet started to get acquainted with it and familiar, print out the guide, and get your grocery shopping and all of that done, because I know that there are new people here who are saying, I don't know anything about this. savingdinner.com/sprint. That's how you get started with that. And those of you who are on day 5, cheers. Here's to you. Now, what am I drinking? Everybody always asks me this. This is our hot melt mix. That's what it looks like, right like this. Hot melt mix is a combination of exogenous ketones keeping you in ketosis in fat burning mode. Yay! And it also helps you feel really good and drive the hydration into the cells because of all the electrolytes in it. Super empowering. You're going to love it. Look who else just walked in, y'all. I'm so excited to have you here. Vanessa is in the house. So is my girl, Martha. Love that. The core 4. Did you have your core 4 yet? Well, I'm going to tell you, we're getting close to the end. If you buy 3, you are going to get the 4th set, all 4 supplements, absolutely free. They're on us. We do big buys once a month or a few times a month, obviously, and then we pass on the savings to you. That's how you get these. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here. Joanne. And so I would highly suggest you go hightail it to savingdinner.com/show. and check out what these supplements are all about, why they were chosen, and why they're just a little bit different. You're going to find out about methylated B vitamins and why it's important. You're going to find out about calcium-magnesium ratio, why you need it. You're going to find out about health, heart health, about women. This is the number 1 killer for women is heart health, right? And we all have a deficit of CoQ10. You're going to find out about that. And finally, you're going to find out about vitamin D. Come on. This is how you boost your immune system and you get that calcium really doing its number in your bones. Cannot emphasize how important it is to get your vitamin D levels checked. Okay, we're going to be talking about that today. I also want to make sure that you're sending your questions in, because every Friday, just like today, I answer them. So send them in to our email them in to support@savingdinner.com and put question for Leanne on Friday in the subject line, so I can answer your question. It's a really easy way for you to do this and to feel like, you know what? I'm getting my questions answered and I feel like I'm getting taken care of. And I say yay and amen to that. Hey, Joanne, saying hello to everyone. Did you see that? I just want you to know that she's here. And same with Lisa. So glad you're here, Lisa. Anyway, what else can I tell you about? The confidence course. Who was here for the webinar last night? I just shared a little bit about what this confidence course is, because there's just too much to cover in really seriously a webinar. That's why we're going to do it in a whole 8-week course. There's lots of intimate community involved. And honestly, if you've never done anything like this before, boy, oh boy, I really hope you consider doing this. Now, it's 8 weeks on a Tuesday night. And you can find the webinar at savingdinner.com/webinar. And you can also see the page where we discuss the whole entire course and what it's going to entail for these 8 weeks. And that's at savingdinner.com/confidence. And you're going to get a workbook that looks like this. It will come in the mail. And inside it, we'll have, you're going to read material and answer different questions. Share if you want to, because we meet on Crowdcast on those 8 weeks for those Tuesday nights. I'm telling you, this is something that I think most women need. You know, sometimes we have, and Sarah asked this question last night, and I thought it was just it was a brilliant question. And she said, what if you have confidence in one area but not in another? And you know what's interesting about that, which is true, I think that happens for all of us. I mean, we have confidence in one area because we're competent, right? That it just makes sense. But then we fall apart in our core about our confidence because we think that we're all about what we can do. And I want you to have confidence in who you are. And that's the difference. And that's what this course is about. Because when you show up and you start doing the work for this, you're going to find the places where maybe it's a little bit weak. And we do have a payment plan on this, Lisa. And Jenny, you will find it if you go to savingdinner.com/confidence and you start clicking the checkout, you'll get an option for the to-pay. All right. So that I'm sure that will help you. And I'm telling you, I wrote every word of this. This is my stuff. Also part of my journey that I'm sharing with you because it's just changed everything for me. So savingdinner.com/course and our confidence. And we were going to be going through this together with hot seats, all the things. Lisa, I hope you join. I think you would really enjoy it. Ellen, hello. My Hot Melt 30 girl keeps going. I love this. And Lisa Wade's here. There's my girl, Lisa. Happy FriYAY to you, Lisa. I'm glad. Yeah, as you go to checkout, you can choose the payment plan. And it is through PayPal. But don't let that deter you if you don't have a PayPal account. You don't need one. All you need is an email address. Okay? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So use if you plan on doing the payment, use PayPal as your checkout. You can set the whole thing up. It's super easy. Promise you. Yeah, we used to do it through whatever. I mean, it was just it was crazy. Poor Jenny had to, she ended up being a bill collector. We don't do that to our Jenny, do we? Heck no. All right. The other thing that I have to tell you about is our text message applications. Listen, get on it. Do you know what text messages do? Text messages give you extra fun stuff, and text messages give you deals that no one else has. All you have to do is send a text message to this phone number, 855-960-3720. Write the word join in the message, all in caps, and then we'll reply back, and you need to reply back to our reply back. All you have to do is say yes, and you're in. And you're going to love the deals that we give, and you're going to love the fun and the graphics and all the rest of it because it's so much fun. Hey there, Lynn Corliss. I'm glad you're here. Lucy's in the house. You know what, Lisa? Everyone needs it. I agree with you. We all need it. I need it. And I wrote the course. We need reminders of who we are. And that's just, how we are made is to be confident. And it all connects. This is one of those things where this one attribute is going to connect the dots for a whole spectrum of stuff that maybe is coming up short in your life. All right? You hanging in there with me? Go watch the webinar and just go get the course, for heaven's sakes. Let's do this together. We start Tuesday, the 17th. It's going to be fun, 7 p.m. Eastern. And yes, everything's recorded, the whole bit. And there's hot seats. There's everything. You'll see. Can I get excited about something? You want to get excited with me? Full Bloom is here. We've already had a lot of people coming. I'm so stoked. Go to savingdinner.com/bloom. You want to be here in person? You want to take a ride on Lake Wantesca? You've heard me talk about all this stuff. Now you get an opportunity to see it and be in my home. I can't wait to hug you up and have you here. Go to savingdinner.com/bloom and check it out. This is something you're not going to want to miss. We're talking Friday night with our boat and float. And then we're going to go all the way through Saturday with material and hands-on stuff. And the title is called You Are Not the Enemy. So that might kind of click into home. And then there's a drop-in brunch on Sunday before you have to leave. Some people are going to have to get on a plane early or whatever, but if you don't, you can just drop in. Your food is handled for the entire weekend. You will not go hungry. I promise you. So just go check it out at savingdinner.com/bloom and let me know if it lights you up. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be such a blast. And here's our quote of the week. It is our friend Diana Nyad. We love her. It wasn't so much what I wanted to do. It was who I wanted to be, right? This is everything. This is everything. Can we take this to heart? Who is it that you want to be? A confident, vibrant woman? I know that's you. I know that's you. Yes, that's who you want to be. That is who you want to be. If you haven't seen us yet on TikTok and joined in the fun, I've got tons of content that I'm putting out just for TikTok if you want to check it out. And right now what's blowing up is my discussion about L-glutamine, because L-glutamine is everything. And I'm going to be talking about that because we do have a question about it. So that's at tiktok.com/savingdinner. That's how you're going to find us. I hope you go take a peek-see because we love having you all there. Hey, Catherine. Last but not least, hey, I don't have anything to tell you. I did it all. We have questions. How about that? You ready for a few questions? I've got a few answers. All right. First things first. This is from our Lucy. Hi, everyone. I have only been using olive oil since I started eating healthfully. I have seen many recipes calling for vegetable and grapeseed oil. What oil may I use safely instead of my lovely olive oil? All my love to staff and everyone there. And then she asks, do you swim in the lake? Yes, ma'am, I do. Not right now. Lincoln is all the time because, Labrador Retriever, water dog. He loves the lake. Just a little too cold for me. But you better believe it, in July, I'll be in that lake swimming. And plus I have a paddleboard. And I've never paddleboarded in my life, but I plan on mastering that this summer. That's part of one of my goals. It's sitting right outside. I can look at it. And it's sitting actually right by your lovely stained glass of Lincoln, Lucy. So, well, it's not. It's right outside the window there, and that's where your stained glass is on the other side. There it is. So, yes, I will swim in that lake because I'll fall off. Please hug and pat Lincoln for me. I absolutely will. And thanks for answering my question. Okay, so let's talk about oils. I think this is such a critically important question because we fall down the rabbit hole of using all these different oils and really not knowing what to use. First things first, vegetable oils are highly processed. They use chemicals to extract the oil from the seed or whatever they're using to get it. And you got to be particular about what it is that you're using. Otherwise, they're highly inflammatory and cause a myriad of problems. As a matter of fact, there are practitioners out there who say this is the number one issue with our health and with the foods that we're eating. So I'm sorry, when it comes to commercial oils, like, stuff that we're familiar with, stuff that has commercials on TV, don't use any of that. That's all 100% garbage. Two things. You need something that's expeller pressed, and olive oil, by the way, is always expeller pressed. And I've seen olive oil being pressed in an olive grove in France. This is one of the things that I saw in 2015 when I did that trip. And the smell and the beauty of this gorgeous green oil, it was just amazing. So you really want to be particular. We use fresh pressed olive oil. Now, fresh pressed olive oil is a club, and they send you some. It's expensive. I'm not gonna lie. They send you some fresh pressed olive oil that is from small groves all around the world. They have personal relationships with all of these grove owners. It's one of the reasons why I love their olive oil so much. I'm willing to go there with that because their oil is exquisite. And the other thing, because the integrity of this olive oil and the least amount of, I mean, it's bottled right there and given directly to Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club. It doesn't go here to this warehouse, then go to this distributor over here, and then sit on a dock somewhere over here. It doesn't do any of that. It comes directly to Fresh Pressed Olive Oil. And you get stuff, it's got a vintage on the bottle, right? I think we've got a link. You can check that out, or you can go to savingdinner.com/Leanne recommends. I think it's Leanne dash recommend or just Leanne recommends. I'm not sure. But the point is that's where it is. It's not offered 100% of the time because they don't have it 100% of the time. They sell out every single time, And they do have an offer when if it's your first time getting the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil. What they'll do is they'll give you a bottle of free olive oil to try, and then you just wait for your subscription to kick in, and then you get like 3 bottles. You get a newsletter with a wonderful story about each one of those olive oils, and it's just an experience, and you get really knowledgeable. And I'll tell you, TJ and Megan have become good friends. They're in Asheville, and they are absolutely delightful people, and they take great care and have great passion for what they do. So I love supporting family-owned businesses, first of all. And I also love supporting quality products that you're not going to find in the grocery store. So take a look at that because we have phenomenal fresh pressed olive oil. I do that too, Jane. I oftentimes will take a bottle of fresh pressed olive oil as a hostess gift, especially if they don't drink wine. Who does that? Margot, hi. Anyway, so that's one of the things that you can do. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because we're always told to never use olive oil to saute with, right? And when my early days of writing, I used to say, saute with olive oil. Then I went, no, you're not supposed to do that. So let's change it all and let's saute it with, a little bit of ghee or some coconut oil, stuff that has a higher smoke point. And then I talked to TJ and Megan, and because of the minimal handling and the integrity of their olive oil, you can saute with it. And I'm a witness to that. You can. Now understand, when you saute, you're getting hot. You're going from medium to about medium high heat. Okay. And medium high heat means that there's a chance of burn factor where you're going to smoke the oil. It's called the smoke point. And once you get past the smoke point, that oil's trash. So you have to watch it and be really careful. You can't take it up nearly as high as ghee or avocado oil, for example. Those are like at 400, 450, right around there. I know we have a smoke point chart somewhere on the Saving Dinner site because I wrote about smoke points before. And that's something that you need to be really aware of. Once your oil or your butter or your ghee or any kind of oil smokes in a pan, it is now rancid and must go because it's damaged oil and it's going to damage you. Got that? Really important. So that's a really important thing. So what can you use instead? Let's say you don't want any olive oil. Let's say you're saying, but I just don't want the olive oil taste. I get that. There's times when you just don't. Then you want to use an avocado oil. And we use Ava Jane's. Now, Ava Jane's is strong. And you'll find that also on the Leanne Recommends page. Ava Jane's can be some pretty potent stuff as well. But you can also buy Chosen Foods, makes a really good expeller pressed avocado oil that doesn't have an avocado oil taste. So we use both because we use the avocado oil. We also use the avocado oil. Mark made some Caesar salad dressing the other day using the avocado oil. It was tremendous, but you could taste the avocado a little bit. But we had avocado in the salad. We just did it the way we wanted. Really good. And by the way, can I just make a shout out here as I'm talking about this stuff with oil? Let's all start making our own salad dressing. Can we? Just pinkies up on that one. Salad dressings are disgusting, usually, unless you're paying a premium for good ingredients in a salad dressing. And we're talking like $8, $9 for an itsy bitsy bottle. Do you know how easy it is to make salad dressing. It is a 3-to-1 ratio. Do 3 tablespoons, for example, of olive oil to 1 tablespoon of any kind of vinegar you want. Name your vinegar. Then squeeze some fresh garlic in there because there's nothing like it. And then maybe a teaspoon of some Dijon mustard. And then use a little whisk, whip, 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 and it emulsifies together. And what a difference in taste. It's delicious. It is absolutely delicious. You've got to try it. That's Leanne's vinaigrette right there. And I use it on everything. And I use it for marinades too, which again is delicious because in a marinade, you're always looking for an acid, that's your vinegar, flavor, where you're going to get the Dijon and the garlic, and then a little bit of oil to marinate and to go into the meat. It's good in chicken, it's good in meat, it's good in pork, it's good in everything. So salad dressing, make it cheaper, better, more delicious. And I've just given you a whole lecture on, on different oils and how to use it, and salad dressing as well. So once you start making your own dressing, there is no way you'll ever go back to buying it. And you can make it in bulk, put it in a mason jar, put a lid on it, throw it in the fridge, And of course, that quality olive oil is going to make it hard. So what? Then you just take out as much as you need. And remember, it's already, going to be emulsified because of that mustard. Take out as much as you need, put it in a little dish. And as you start your cooking and getting dinner ready and everything, that salad dressing is just going to sit there and just come to room temperature. And by the time it's time to toss the salad, done. It's ready to go. That's how you do that. Don't put it in the microwave. So that's the other thing. The other thing that I would say, Lucy, is get yourself a little bit of ghee. So sauteing ghee with a little bit of, with your vegetables is delicious. Can I just say? I think one of the things that when we were going through that fad of low fat, no fat, everything, and steamed vegetables with nothing on them, some people didn't even salt and pepper them. I mean, it tastes like blah, Missed out. A little bit of butter makes all the difference in the world. And sauteing it adds another flavor dimension entirely. And yes, they're all good for you. They're quite delicious. So let's all get a little bit of ghee. I buy mine actually online. I buy it on Amazon, and I buy this massive tub of it. And, as soon as it starts to get a little low, I buy another big old tub of it. You just keep it in the pantry. Do you know it is 99% dairy-free, and it's all oil butter. All the solids are gone. Everything is gone. And as a matter of fact, people who have dairy allergies can tolerate ghee. So you get that buttery flavor without, the problems that some people that have genuine dairy allergies is what I'm talking about. So what ghee is, Margot, is clarified butter is essentially what it is, meaning all the milk solids are out. So, when you put butter in a pan and you just, you start to just warm things up, and have you noticed how it gets foamy and there's like solids and stuff on top? If you were to skim all of that off and take it off, you have just clarified your butter. But you can buy it already done. You can make it in a crock pot. There's recipes online on how to do that. But I'm going to tell you, honestly, for me, just buying the ghee. I just buy it. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. Yes, there are organic, cultured, this, that, and the other thing. Horrendously expensive. For my purposes, I buy an Indian brand one, and it starts with an M, and it's a jar as big as my head, seriously, as big as my head, and it's in our pantry, and I love it. It's the best. That flavor, when we take flavor out of our food, no wonder nobody wants to go on a diet. No wonder nobody wants to, they want to just say, no, I'm not going to do that. Ew, I'm not going to eat that way. I'm not going to eat that rabbit food is what my dad used to say. Well, how about if you add a little flavor to it? How about you put some butter on those vegetables and some good salad dressing on your salad? Maybe that rabbit food will look a little bit more appealing. Yeah? I don't know. That's how I look at it. So I had a good question. Thanks, Lucy, for that. Lisa's got some questions. Lisa, I know you're here. I just saw you. Yeah, Trader Joe's has a good price on ghee too. But for our purposes in our house, that wouldn't last very long because we use it on everything. And by the way, Mark just got his blood test done. I get mine done. We're both in optimal range. Our cholesterol, everything, we're both in optimal range. The only thing that I have to worry about ever is my TSH. My TSH is in good places. My antibodies, which are going down. My goal is to eradicate them entirely. I'm getting there. Hey, Chris. So that's how that whole thing works. And the other thing to know too, Margot, about ghee versus butter is ghee has a very high smoke point. Butter has a very low smoke point. So there you go. So there you are. You say it doesn't, you buy 4 at a time. Good for you. That's a good way. All right. Let's go with what else do we have here from Lisa. She said, I went for my annual physical a few weeks ago and my vitamin D test score was a 1. My jaw dropped on that one, by the way, Lisa. And I'm going to give you a big hug when I see you. Are you coming in July? My doctor prescribed a higher dose to take once a week and then take 10,000 units daily. How many wise women's capsules would I need to take? All right. So ours has, where is it? It's basically if you take 2, you get 5,000 international units. So take 1, right? Oh, come on. There you go. This is the vitamin D. The other thing that you might want to consider, ours is such a good price, I would say go ahead and get that. But the other thing that you might want to consider, which can be for people who have a difficulty getting in and maintain, there's a couple things that I do. One is make sure that you get outside, and especially in morning hours. This is when you help, it clicks into your pituitary and your melatonin gets dialed in when you're out in the sun in the morning. Did you know that? It's going to help you sleep later on at night. So there's a good thing for that. Plus, doesn't the dog need walking? That's what my dog does. So we do that. I do my HIIT training, walking and running, or walking and speed walking, depending. I do that every morning, and it does make a difference in the way I sleep and the way I feel. It also gets me vitamin D. Secondarily, and remember what I said about vitamin D, you want your skin exposed. You want your skin exposed. Now, if it's 115 degrees out and it's a scorcher, make sure you're not doing it in the times where it's, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. when the sun is going to be its most potent. But, there's a gal that I follow and another podcaster that I listen to, and I don't have their names off the top of my head. I can see their faces. But they had a big discussion on the chemical reaction from sunscreen and the sun's rays. And yes, it does block the UVs, but what it does on your skin is unconscionable. As a matter of fact, the EU bans our sunscreens because of the carcinogenic stuff that's in them. My suggestion, if you are going to put on any kind of sunscreen, is use a mineral-based sunscreen. This is what I use on my face. Now, that's on my face, but the rest of me, I allow to get sun. I know, right? We can all just, faint away. So, I will tell you, get on there and do your research. What's the problem is the sunscreens. They're evil. Find something safe. EWG.org. Find a safe sunscreen there. One of the ones that I use is this. It's Color Science for my face. It's minerals. That's all it is. And it comes like this, Look, and you could just all over your face. And the other thing that I like about it is that you don't feel like you've got a plastic bag on your face, because some of those things are just like almost make me claustrophobic. They're so nasty. So take a look at that kind of a thing, and then allow your sun to get yourself a little bit of sun. I'm not talking about sunbathing. I'm talking about letting the sun hit. Your skin will take that sun and turn it into vitamin D. Vitamin D, even though it's a vitamin, it acts like a hormone, and it helps all kinds of, remember what hormones are. They're messengers. So it's going to activate your immune system. It's going to help with bone remodeling. It's going to do all kinds of things. I'm not asking you to sunbathe. As a matter of fact, I'm saying, please don't sunbathe. It's crazy. It's way too much. Way too much of anything is going to be problematic. Way too much healthy food is going to be problematic. We need to be considerate of what it is that we need. You can see my arms. Yep, with a little. You can even see the freckles. I have a little bit of a tan on my arms, and that's just from going outside every morning and sometimes in the afternoon taking Lincoln for a walk. Sometimes Mark does it, but we need the sun. It's just part of what it is, and this fear of the sun is unwarranted. We need to be fearing sun worshiping and sunbathing. All right, I'm getting down off my soapbox. I swear to you, I am. But you can get a little bit of vitamin D in cloudy weather, but for me, the trifecta for vitamin D is this: supplementation, getting outside without sunscreen on your arms. If you put sunscreen on your arms, you're not going to get any vitamin D, promise, And then the other thing is you may need, some people do, need a little extra. So get a vitamin D spray with K2 in it, okay? That's really going to help. It's a D3 with a K2. I know it sounds like, we're going to go skiing or something. And just take that and under your tongue, hold it, swish it in your mouth for 2 minutes, let it just sit there and let it do its thing, because some people need that. And you'll find out if you're doing your vitamin D tests. That's what you need to be doing. Ellen says she uses a UPF shirt. That's so smart, way smarter. I've had skin cancer too. I had a skin cancer right here. You can't see it anymore, but right along my collarbone, there was a ginormous scar where they took a basal cell carcinoma off when I was in my 40s, and I got the lecture from the doctor and I was just like, yeah, well, thanks. I'm not going to listen, but I do get checked and I am fair and all of that. And I get it. But I'm not going to go worship the sun or sunbathe and do what I used to do and put baby oil all over me and sit in the sun and get blistered. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be smart. So just do what you can do. Go ahead and take that. Take your doctors and take the rest of it and still get out in the sun as much as you possibly can. You're going to get a little bit of something in the cloudy days, but you're not going to get it as you are on the days that we have beautiful weather. Also, what is the best way to deal with negative self-talk? It seems to me to be the only conversation I hear, and I haven't been able to teach my dog how to pat me on the back yet. You sweet girl. I tend to be a positive person to everyone but yourself. All right, Lisa, here's the deal. And I'm hugging you right now. If you were here, I'd give you a big old hug. Here's the thing that you need to do. And Karen, I agree with you, by the way, on the zinc. It's great. It's great. Remember the white zinc that you used to put on your nose when you were a kid? That stuff's fantastic. You can still find it. So let me this negative self-talk, it is an old habitual habit. It's an old habitual habit. And we have to unplug the emotion from that and just look at it maybe with a little disdain and just say, are you kidding me? That's not who I am. I'm not at all about that. That's an old belief system, as a matter of fact. We know that the amygdala in our brains, this is the fear center of our brains, is adverse to any kind of change because change equals risk and possible danger. That's what our amygdala does. So as you start to make changes, your old self, that's the amygdala, rears up and goes, no, danger, danger, danger. And then your reticular activating system, if it doesn't have a filtration system to it yet, we'll talk about that in the confidence course, is going to repeat the old stuff that you have known, the old thoughts, the old negative behaviors, to get you back to the place of comfortableness, right? Of what it is that you've always known. And we pick up all of this stuff, obviously, from anywhere. You could have picked it up from a teacher, from a parent, from a sibling, from a friend, from school, whatever. Along the way, from childhood all the way through, we've picked up this negativity all along the way. And we've allowed it to impact us. And that impact has made a profound difference on what it is that we think about. So as we're thinking these thoughts, we have to immediately say, that's absolutely not true. Because it's not. It's not. This is what somebody made a determination to call you on, or this is what someone decided you were about, or whatever. And that it doesn't make it true. And remember something else too. This is profound. Every thought you have isn't necessarily the truth. You got that? Because we have a tendency to believe anything that we think about is the truth, and it's not. It's simply not. And we also, studies have shown that our memories from way back when change and go and change as we go. They do. They did a study, and this was on one of the Daily Dish shows, and I shared this study, which I thought was profound. And they did a study, and they talked about these freshman kids in college. And the professor said, "Where were you on 9/11?" And of course, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh." And he goes, No, we're not going to talk about it. Get out your paper, write down the story of where you were on 9/11. Date your paper and tell me your story of what happened at that time. 4 years later, seniors in college, these same kids got brought in, and same thing was asked about them. Where were you on 9/11? Tell your story, date your paper, etc. And do you know, not one of them wrote the exact same story. Not one of them. They changed their location, they changed what they were doing, and the instructions were as much detail as you can possibly remember. Of course, they had some details that were the same, but some of it had changed. And that's our adaptive nature. That's our brain doing that. We're not purposely going out of our way to lie, but we are adapting things to fit situations. We do that. We do that not because we're deceitful, horrible humans. We do that because we are trying to protect ourselves. It's our amygdala's way of dealing with whatever, right? For whatever reason, this is what we do, just to make things a little bit more palatable. Isn't that interesting? So as we're going through this, then we have to recognize that every time something comes along, we have a choice. Do I keep this or do I let it go? Do I say to you, stay or go? Every time somebody knocks on the door, do you let them in and just come in and be a house guest? Of course not. You're not going to, the UPS guy is going to knock on your door and say, "Hey, ma'am, I got a delivery for you." You're going to say, "Well, I'm so glad you're here. Come on in. Make yourself at home. Let me get you a drink. As a matter of fact, let me show you your guest room where you can stay." We don't do that. We don't do that with people. We don't do that with others. As a matter of fact, they've got a knock on our door. Have you noticed that? And whether or not we let them in is up to us. And we're discerning about who we let in and out of our house. We have to do the same thing with our mind. We have to choose our thoughts. And it's hard because I will tell you, at first, it's just going to be the habit of doing the same thing over and over again. I call it the Oregon Trail of our minds, because the Oregon Trail over hundreds of years was created, and these humongous ruts, and everybody knew where to go and how to go there. And it's these neurons that have made all those brain synapses, just you've got these little bridges in your brain. This is always how we go. This is how we think and think and think. Wagon ruts in our brains, back and forth. And it's automatic and it's something. But when we are aware and when we make a decision that we're going to stay aware, then we can start saying, hold the phone. And what I like to do is grab my attention and call it out. And I've named my amygdala, and I suggest you may name your amygdala. And just because your amygdala is not you. This is you, your prefrontal cortex. This is where this is the moneymaker right here. This is your CEO of your life, not your amygdala. Don't let a primitive part of your brain do all the work. Okay. The heavy lifting's done here. So your CEO says to this mail carrier, "Come on, no, get out of here. Go back to your job, go do something else. Go regulate her heartbeat or something, but get out of here." Right? So that's enough out of you, Amy. That's what I'll say, because Amy's my amygdala. Name her. I don't say that Leanne. Because Leanne, this is Leanne up here, not my amygdala. My amygdala tried to run my life and was running it off the rails because of the negativity that was in my head. I believed I had I believed a lot of the lies from what happened to me when I was bullied as a kid, what was going on in my family home, and all the rest of it. I believed all of it. And then when I had an epiphany moment, and I was in a bathtub, by the way, strongly recommend bathtub therapy. And I realized I don't have to entertain these thoughts just because they come knocking at my door. It's like letting a stranger in, you know? It's like, they have these maps in neighborhoods. You can look them up online where they'll tell you where registered sex offenders live. You want to know this if you have kids, you want to know that. So you would not you guard that, right? You guard your kids, you guard them, you watch them when they're out you make sure they're in the fenced yard. You watch them, you drive them to school, you do all these things. We protect them. It's time for you to protect yourself. It's time for you to know what's up in your neighborhood, who's living in your brain, and call them out and say, that's enough out of you. I'm done. And as we don't focus on it, as we don't give our attention to it, as we change our direction, we can't help but entertain other things, other more important thoughts that hold us to the place and to the values that we truly do value. Because when we're out of alignment with all of that, we feel like we can't even get off the dime. And that's not what this is about, That's not what this life is about. We can't live a vibrant life if we keep going back to the same place. There's a Bible verse that says, as a dog returns to his vomit, so does a man return to his folly. And we don't want to be like that. That's what folly is. Folly is just this foolishness, this foolish old thinking, these stupid beliefs that don't serve you. And listen to me for a minute. This is the important part that I want you to get. I'm all for processing things. I'm all about, this is what I felt. These are things. And yes, they are all valid, but it doesn't mean that you have to listen to the voice that tells you you're no good, or that you can't, or that you fill in the blank. You can. You're here on purpose and for purpose, fearfully and wonderfully made. And when we keep returning to that base value, then we fundamentally know in our cores, we can't entertain those thoughts anymore because they don't line up with who we are. Does that make sense? I hope so, Lisa. Well, there's your love. Thanks for the love. I'll take all of it. And I think that you are so sweet. And so thank you for putting yourself out there like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, just start on this work. It's work. Use journals, use meditation, all of these different things, and give voice to the things that are positive. And the stuff that's not, it's time to knock it back down because it just doesn't belong. Not anymore. Not on you. You're vibrant, fearfully and wonderfully made. She asked another question, which I'm kind of cracking up about because right now on TikTok, I have a video blowing up where I'm talking about how L-glutamine helps you with smoking, because I had somebody ask me that. And so it's called a stitch, where you answer somebody's question, and I answered them. I'm going to answer it exactly how I answered it on TikTok. And that is this. L-glutamine is a simple amino acid. You take it like this, put it in a dish. This is just one scoop. And then you use a clean finger like so. You put it on your gums. You put it on your tongue. And you have an instantaneous cutoff to the pleasure center of your brain, because all addiction is based on the pleasure center getting tickled, right? Every single one of them. And that includes cigarettes, food cravings, food addictions. It includes booze. It includes gambling. It includes shopping addiction. Name that. Compulsive behavior, because we all want to soothe, self-soothe. This little amino acid, that's what it looks like. We have it in the shop. Well, sort of in the shop. I mean, I can't even tell you how many we're going through right now. Is a little jar full of miracles, and it does the trick for whatever it is that you need help with when it comes to, I I would even use it if I were a person who was just like, I can't stop reading romance novels and get off my butt and do something else. I would say, you know what? I'm going to just dip in and have a little L-glutamine, and I'm going to get on off the dime and, get on to cleaning up the kitchen or whatever else needs going on, because that's how effective it is. And I learned this from a very well-known published psychiatrist who works specifically with addicts. This is what she has her addicts do. And she noticed when she started using this, she had a whole lot more success, because they felt like when this craving came, they didn't have to just sit there and dig their heels in and, hope that they could do it. They had something to go to. It's instantaneous. What I would suggest as well, though, and even for somebody with a smoking addiction, would be to pair that with our Crave Crusher, because Crave Crusher has L-glutamine and several other things in that also work on the brain for all-day sustainment, I guess. I don't know if that's a word. So it works. Yes, it works on psychological cravings as well, because it's a psychological thing. This is it's happening in your brain. So what would your psychological craving be, Lisa? Yeah, I mean, anybody who's trying to quit, I mean, I'll tell you, have you read about those? They've got those commercials on TV. Have you seen those commercials on TV? They're foul. They've got these prescription medications, could cause suicidal thoughts. Who's going to take that? Come on. When we've got something like a cheap amino acid like this, in its loose form, we can put it in a little dish like this, and every time we're saying, oh my, I need to have a cigarette. No, you don't. Good to go. That's how that whole thing works. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for you today. And I know we went a little bit long. I kind of got on my soapbox. It happens every once in a while. But I really do appreciate and enjoy our moments together on this show. And I thank you so much for showing up. And all of you who have shared too, so appreciate it. Go check us out, by the way, on TikTok and help us out. The smoking addiction is physical and it is mental. And yes, it will work on that. So of course, it will. That's what it does. It's working in your brain. It's helping to change your brain's chemistry, helping to cut off the pleasure center, because there's a lot there. It's going to take some time. And the first time and I worked with a woman who was a smoker for 30 years and did this same exact thing with her. She was one of my coaching clients a few years back. And she said the first day she went through a whole scoop of L-glutamine, which is 4 grams of glutamine. And you don't want to go beyond 5 grams a day. It could make you a little nauseous or, whatever. We don't want to be overdoing it either. And so she said the first day she went through the entire thing, and she was constantly, doing this. And then the next day was a little bit better. And after a week, she was done. She still carried her L-glutamine with her, but she quit smoking. 30-year smoker, and she was smoking a pack and a half a day. That's a lot of cigarettes. So I say to you, if you're dealing with any kind of addiction or whatever, we have L-glutamine in the shop. It's savingdinner.com/stop craving. We've got a whole bunch more coming in. People are buying it like crazy because it works. So I appreciate you showing up. Thank you for your time today. And I will see you on Monday for Motivational Monday. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.